They say it's a completely new type of warfare, and it is legal. It's legal.
A general analysis of filmmakers gives us an idea of the role a short film plays in establishing a director's style, influences, and storytelling method. A short film is a vital component for a filmmaker to understand his or her weaknesses. Let's take a 2018 short film titled Rani that I had directed as an example. I'm going to first take a paragraph from the short story and break that down into a scene on script. We are further going to convert that into a screenplay and storyboard, and finally see the scene from the film. After that, I'd like to talk a little about budgeting the film, crowdfunding and the sites that we use to help facilitate that, how casting agencies work and why I recommend you use them, getting permissions, and finally film festivals and how film festival circuit works. What we have in front of us is a paragraph from the short story Rani. Let us now convert this into a scene on script. There are two things that I'd like you to pay attention to. First is the font and the second is the format. The font of a script should always be in Courier New. This has long been established for the last 100 years because before computers existed, scripts were written on typewriter, and the Courier New font, being the closest to the typewriter font, is what is recognized by most professional filmmakers and production houses. The second thing is the format. Ideally, you would have your scene number on the top. Below it, you would have exterior, which indicates that the scene is taking place outside, or INT, which would indicate the scene is taking place within a location. Beside that, you have time, which would give you the information of the time the scene is taking place in. Below that, you would have a description. This could either be a visual description or an audio description of sounds that you think are important for the scene. This scene does not have any dialogues, but if there were dialogues, you would have the character's name, and below the character you would have his dialogue or her dialogue. And finally, the scene ends with a cut that establishes that the scene is now over. So your script is not going to give you any technical details, it's not going to give you any other details other than exactly what you would be seeing on screen. This scene would be broken down into many shots. Your screenplay would have your scene number, your shot number, interior or exterior, your shot. This is an extreme wide shot. The angle, this is a low angle or is it a high angle. Your camera movement, dolly in, dolly out, zoom in. Subjects, your props, your costume, audio, dialogue, foley, description of shot, location, camera and lens. So your screenplay is going to give you all your technical details of how to execute your shot, and these shots will make up your scene and these scenes make up your film. Now, while budgeting your film, I would always strongly advise that you start budgeting your film once your screenplay is over. Now, for example, once I have this, which is all the information about executing this shot, I know that I need an auto, I know that I need costumes, I know what kind of lens or camera I might need, whether I need a drone, what kind of movement, so what kind of camera equipment I will need, would I need a stabilizer or a dolly track, right? So once you have your screenplay, I would suggest you then start budgeting your film. After you have your screenplay, I would further go into storyboard. I keep it very simple, they're just simple stick figures. I would also add in the duration of the shot size, the angle, the transition, if there's any audio, the characters, their movement. I keep it very simple, but then I have a scene in this film which is exactly like this shot. This is not kind of the shot that I have, this is exactly the shot. Even though it's really simple, I keep in all the information about the props, about the angle, especially the camera position. Once I have the storyboard, I would then finally go to executing the shot. The way I approach financing all my films, short films, all the way to hopefully in the future making my feature film is I try to go through a few different avenues. I try product placement, I do crowdfunding, I invest some of my own money to have some skin in the game. I approach different producers and also try to get a few media partners on board. The reason for this is I never would want to go to a single source to finance a film because that always brings in sort of creative freedom issues, and nor would I want to finance my films, nor can I finance films of my own. Hence, I have started with a 1-minute short film, made a 5-minute short film, 15-minute short film, and the way I make all these films is exactly the same. The way I finance all these films is exactly the same, and the way that is the way I would do it for a feature film as well. Some of the sites that we had available to us while we were making this film were Wishberry and Milap. Both of them are crowdfunding websites. I strongly recommend you use Milap. It's really easy. To start a campaign, you basically need to share your synopsis with their team, some other details of your project such as a teaser or poster, your work experience, and then you can share your campaign with your network who can start donating immediately. The reason Milap stood out while we were making this film is because some of the other crowdfunding sites would not allow you to withdraw your funds if you had not hit your target. But Milap does not work this way. You can set your target and the target date by which you want to hit it. But even if you're not able to reach your target, they will still allow you to withdraw those funds, and Milap takes around a 2.5% fee for doing so. This is the first time that we went to a casting agency to get the actors that we require for the film. The way a casting agency works is you share your casting call with the agency, who then proceed to sharing that with their network of actors and artists under them. You can then go to the casting agency and audition these actors and choose the ones that you require. You then pay the agency the artist's fees, and the agency generally does not charge anything for providing this service. You pay the agency the fees for all the actors that you have selected, and the agency will take their commission, which is around 15 to 20%, and then they will pay the artists directly. The reason I suggest going through a casting agency is for this reason. We had 24 hours to shoot this film. We did not have the time or budget to really make any mistakes. Hence, to avoid such situations, going through a casting agency, they will provide you a project manager who will be on location, make sure that the actors are there on time, and make sure that you are taking care of the actors as well. Always get permissions for your shoot, whether the shoot is happening in a private location or a public area. Do not risk having the equipment confiscated or being fined. The way to get permission for your shoot is you write a letter, take it to the police station in the jurisdiction of your shoot. They'll make you wait, but this generally does not cost you anything, especially if you do not have any large ground crew and equipment and are not inconveniencing traffic and passers-by. They will allow you to shoot and give you permission for your shoot. While making this film, we had no prior experience with film festivals or how the film festival circuit works. So I'm going to share some of the information that I was able to pick up after this film. Film festivals are not cheap, they're really expensive. There are hundreds of film festivals, and each festival has multiple categories such as Best Director, Best Editor, Best Cinematography, Best Sound, Best Acting, Best Music, Best Score, Best Graphics or VFX. And each one of these categories costs anywhere between $20 to $100 to apply. So if you are applying to multiple film festivals and multiple categories, it is going to turn out to be really expensive. So you need to be able to scrutinize your film, know what is
its strong points are, what its weak points are, and be able to send it to the festivals that you feel like you have a chance at winning or doing well in. That's why you make films, to understand where the strengths and weaknesses are. When we made this film, it costed us about 4 lakhs. Now, I didn't think the film's gonna cost us 4 lakhs. Hence, you make short films and you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize I need to spend money on this shit, you know. And hence, please do make your films. Please do learn it. Film is a language, and to speak in it fluently, one must converse through the lens of film and cinema often.